Meet Grace Sear, or Gracie as she prefers. As matriarch, she presides over a bustling household full of family and extended family. And when we say extended, we mean extended.
Gracie is our most senior foster parent, and she is the most exceptional woman anybody would want to meet. I know someone will check the statistics, but I believe she has fostered as many as 93 children.
For the past 15 years, Grace has cared for Kayla, a special needs foster child who Grace welcomed at age 5.
She had 48 seizures in one day. So they took her away and they sent her to a children's hospital. And then they called me up, told me her history. I said, bring her home.
She's a pretty amazing woman for doing all of that. Did I think when she first started this that it would lead to this? Absolutely not.
When Gracie first started, almost all of the children she took in were infants who often would not stay long. Stay long in the house, that is. Staying in her heart was a different matter.
4 days old, yeah. They came right from the hospital, and they stayed with me till they found a home for them. We had to bring the baby over to the agency, and then I would have to leave. But I didn't leave. My husband and I, there was a little hill near the home, and we parked on the hill. I would not let him take me home until I saw what they looked like and who they were. So out the door came a nice man and woman, and they started down the hill, and then I turned to my husband and said, I can go home now.
And it wouldn't be long before she got a call. Gracie, we have another child.
The door was open for children, and I felt like I had the home, and I could bring the children in, and they needed me.
Lisa Gagnon certainly did. She came to live with Gracie when she was 8 years old.
When I went to live with Gracie, it was so stable. So, I needed that. I was scared. It was the unknown, But in my mind, I think anything was better than where I was.
Better still would be permanent placement. That was the hope. And Lisa did find an adoptive family, but even after 9 years, she didn't feel she had found a home.
They had so many of their own problems, and then I had some issues, and I think maybe they just decided to give up. Yeah.
She said, call Gracie, and I want to go back, and Gracie won't say no. So a social worker came and brought her to the door, and she jumped on me.
I came through the door, and she said, oh, Lisa, you haven't changed. I love you, and
I felt like she came home again.
Entry into her family was unconditional for the foster children. The same can't be said for Frank Sear. Frank was an acquaintance of Grace's first husband, Gus. A widower himself, Frank would often offer a helping hand, which Grace gratefully accepted. It was a different story when he asked for her hand.
I said, I cannot marry you until you promise that you will take my foster children too.
First thing I learned was, yes, yes, dear. That was the key word, yes, dear. And I had to accept all her kids.
93 foster children, 5 daughters of her own, all her kids, is a number well over 100 when you add her grandchildren.
When I came to Nan's house, I had always a playmate and whatnot, and I guess I basically grew up just having a brother or sister, just not blood related. Taking in all these children and caring for them, you would never think that they were, foster kids. You would think that they were her own.
I think that Gracie is our greatest unsung hero. She has set an example that all of our foster parents aspire to because she has maintained this dedication for so long.
Hey, can we clap?
She's perfect to me. She's my little angel.
It's hard to disagree, but Grace herself will tell you she's not perfect. And she had a devilish grin on her face when she told the story of sending young Cerie off to school on St. Patrick's Day, resplendent in green, right down to the Jell-O and a can of ginger ale in his lunch.
The teacher called me. She said, Gracie, what did you give Cerie for lunch? I said, what did I give him for lunch? I gave him a banana, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a green Jell-O, and a can of soda. And she started laughing. And I said, what's the problem? Is he all right? And she said, yes. You gave him the green Jell-O, the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but you also gave him Heineken beer. Well, I thought I'd get a 51A for that, but they thought it was a big joke in school. And they all said they were going to fight over which one was going to have it for lunch.
On that note, Gracie, allow us to raise a toast to you.